want to talk a little Gator football with you, and then if you got time, we've got some film. Stephen Harris said you played a little ball yourself. I don't know, how much you know, but we're to get your perspective. We're just joking here, Jarvis. I don't know, know the pulse of the show. We're not very serious around here. What's your thoughts, man, of this Florida football team? Give us your take.
Either froze.
So y'all know I'm brutally honest. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like I just told y'all, I never cheated. When it comes to football, I never changed my standard. Really for nobody. I don't care if you're in the Hall of Fame or a 5-star high school recruit. The culture and certain things when it comes to football is supposed to be done. I coach. With in the movie, Remember the Titans, what they say, attitude reflect leadership. So it really starts from the top down. And I'm gonna be honest. I particularly didn't like Urban Meyer that much. But it's not about liking a dude. It's about who's the right leader for the boys and the program, and that's where it started. I think that's what we need. And for even to bring big time recruits in, I think you need a leader that kids want to go play for.
Wow,
Nice.
laying it heavy there, Jarvis. So, I mean, there's
no disrespect to nobody, and it's no disrespect.
For sure, bro. You know what it takes.
It's my opinion. Yeah, it's my opinion. I've been around a lot of championship programs. Especially if we talk in college. Steve. I ain't forgot. What we did and what it took, and the discipline, the attitude, the mindset. Being coached hard, being able to go out and put it all together. It started with the top. Like I said, I particularly didn't like Urban Meyer that much, but would I replace him and try to bring in another coach if I could rewind time and do things my way? Heck no. Because when it comes to offense, defense, and special teams, he had the team clicking on all three cylinders, and that's what it's about. And me particularly as a defensive guy, Urban was the first person to show me how important special teams was. I ain't been in Gainesville in a while. I ain't never spent much time around coach there or the program lately. But I know it started with the leadership. It started at the top, bro.
Yeah, and look, a lot of the guys that come on that say, "Hey, no disrespect," and I don't take it that way. I don't feel like the chat feels it that way. We respect your opinion greatly, given the fact of what you did for the Florida, and then after the fact, you've incredible pedigree to be able to speak on it, and obviously even coach yourself. You understand what it takes.
And humbly, you know what I'm saying? Like I like to just humbly give my opinion. In a high school meeting, we have a kid stand up before we start going over film, and coach has that kid say, "Hey, don't take things personally," because we just being objective, and being real about things.
That's dope.
When are you watching the games and keeping up with it on defense? I don't know if you heard the comments. I want to get your thoughts on this too with Ron Roberts. Did you hear his comments?
Okay. Well, you ready? Tell me. Put me on right now.
You did not hear it?
Tell me right now.
Oh, okay. He said they interviewed him before the game. He goes, "I feel like the defense is not buying into one another." What is your thoughts? If you're a player at that time, what would you think if you heard that? It's football season, which means it's time for you to start winning with your favorite players on and off the field. And with PrizePicks, you can do that. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. And what's special about this time of year right now is that one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on PrizePicks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September 4. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. So you select Caleb Williams that have more than 0.5 passing yards. Gotta get one, and you have a W. We're already halfway there. Now, some of you only need to pick 2, but I want to go 4 because when you can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. So Caleb Williams is going to be my first selection to have more than 0.5 passing yards, then Travis Hunter to have more than 79.5 yards, and then more Jackson Arnold to have 265 point yards, more than that in this week coming up. Big time weekend for football. Be sure to download the PrizePick app today and use the code Hightop and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Hightop on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win. Receive $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Now back to the show.
So I've had some good coaches and I've had some bad coaches. You know, I've had some programs and systems and schemes that I knew were flawless, and, you know, teams weren't going to be able to beat us or do nothing with us. And then I've had some bad coaches and played in some schemes where I knew, hey, they finna run through us like, you know, bottled waters. So, you know, when you're not buying in, definitely, you know, it's philosophy, trust issues, scheme issues. I mean, we could just keep going down the box. You know, let's just keep it real.
So,
Fact.
and we've actually talked about Steven with that too, the scheme issue. Do you feel that that's, again, it starts back at the top, what you said earlier, right?
Yeah, right. And football is hard. So I want to give coach and all the coaches there their props right now. You know what I'm saying? While we've been, this is a tough sport first and foremost. For anybody to think, hey, the Gators should just have success just because the Gators. No, football is hard. You know, it's a difficult sport, you know, for coaches and players, right? So, yeah, you know, I will start there. This kind of coach first time in the big times like this, you know, I was kind of shocked when he got the hire, coming from such a small program, you know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Urban came from a little program too, but in my opinion, I think you need somebody proven.
For sure.
At the head of things.
We were talking about that before you hopped on of who the next guy would be, and a big splash was one. I do want to circle back to Urban question, and then I know there's a few people that wanted to ask about the cock block, which was a big deal. But you said you didn't like Urban, but obviously he made you guys tick in a way that was successful for you guys. Not to throw Urban under the bus, but was it just his personality? And again, how, if you didn't like him, what made it allow for you guys to kind of put that to the side and go play football? I think that's such a intriguing aspect.
That is true. And when I say I don't like him, you know, let's just say nobody's perfect. And I think there was some things done that certainly, you know, he wouldn't get away with in 2024, you know, in some program, you know, at this level, you know, and I just leave that there. You know, I respect him, man. So let's not get that confused at all, you know, at the highest forms. And that's why I said I wouldn't replace him with anybody because of, you know, how my team performed, you know, the mentality that he instilled, the coaches that he brought along with him that I love and will always love. So it's a high level of respect for Urban. And yeah, it's a huge, so don't get it twisted. For me being a 21, 20-year-old saying, oh, I don't really like him, you know what I'm saying? And from a grown man tell you now in hindsight, I respect him, and he, you know, what he brought with him, you know, changed a lot of our lives as far as success and our mentality, you know. We were a talented group of kids before he got there. He just really brought that discipline and that, you know, exactly what we needed to tighten up as young men. And, yeah, that's why I respect him so much. We were a talented group before he got there.
I can appreciate that, a golf coach, where at the time, I think the entire group of guys, we weren't the biggest fans of our coach. We didn't love him, right? We respected him. We appreciated what he did. Obviously, now looking back, it's like, yeah, I see him. I go, what's up, coach? I love you. You know what I mean? Give him a hug because I respect what he did for us. But I totally understand that. Like, look, at that moment in time, it's like, look, would I go and hang out and have a beer with you? No. Okay, let's keep it in between the lines. But you pulled out the best of me. Yeah. And look, were there other ways that you could have done it? Sure. But at that time, maybe that's what I needed. And I just didn't know it.
So you paraphrasing it. If I could have said it any better, you just said it right there. That's exactly what I meant.
That's what I thought. I think, again, I haven't heard most people kind of speak out on Urban. We've heard of the stories. We've seen Swamp Kings. And I think maybe because, like what you said, is that looking back, at that moment, if you guys would all been interviewed and made the Swamp Kings, there probably would have been a lot of disgruntled players. And even Steven just came on the show. He's like, look, I got into it with Steven or with Urban. Like I was like, I'm out of here. And he kind of circled me back in. So look, it's like you said, it's a tough job to get into.